Hi students, I am Dr. Prabhat. Today we are going to learn about parturation, suckling reflex and some ectopic points, or you can say some extra edges of human reproduction chapter. ठीक है, हमने एम्ब्रियोनिक डेवलपमेंट तक की चीज़ें देख ली है, एम्ब्रियो कैसे डेवलप होता है वहाँ तक हमने देख लिया. सो नाउ स्टार्ट विथ पार्चुरेशन. है ना, पार्चुरेशन. द फर्स्ट लाइन विच we have to know that it's a neuroendocrine reflex. How it's a neuroendocrine reflex? Let's discuss. So when a fetus mature, fetus maturation, a mature fetus, anterior pituitary of mature fetus will secrete, ACTH. The ACTH will go and will work on the cortex of adrenal gland, and from there it will lead to the release of cortisol. Now this cortisol will cross the placenta and will enter into the mother circulation. So now I am using other color because it's for mother circulation. So now the cortisol is entering into the cortisol enters into mother circulation, है ना, mother circulation, and this cortisol will lead to decrease in progesterone in mother circulation or in maternal blood, decrease in progesterone and increase in prostaglandin, in maternal blood. Now we all know what is the function of progesterone. Progesterone is known as pregnancy hormone. So once the progesterone is coming down, now it's a time when pregnancy should end. So and what is prostaglandin? Prostaglandin will lead to contraction of smooth muscle, will lead to contraction of smooth muscle, Now because of these two regions, there will be start or initiation, you can write initiation of what? Of labor, है ना, यानी contraction. It will lead to release of oxytocin, from posterior pituitary of mother. So I can directly write the release of oxytocin from posterior pituitary of mother. And we know the function of oxytocin. It will further initiate this labor, it will further lead to the contraction of smooth muscle, and hence the initiation of the labor and further progression of the labor. So this is the story of parturation. Next we have milk ejection or suckling reflex. What is this milk ejection or suckling reflex? देखो, whenever baby sucks nipple of mother, it leads to a reflex, it leads to impulse conduction, where impulse is being carried to posterior pituitary of mother. Now what is the use of this impulse? Because of this impulse there is a release of oxytocin, है ना, because of this impulse there is a release of oxytocin from posterior pituitary, and it leads to ejection of milk, and it leads to further sucking by the fetus, and so on. So this is the story by which the milk will continue to pour out through the nipple into the baby mouth, and this whole thing is known as milk ejection or suckling reflex. Now some ectopic points. Perineal glands, anal, we all know the excretory organ, the anal canal के आजू बाजू के gland को हम बोलते हैं this पेरियनल ग्लैंड। एंड या इस ग्लैंड से आने वाले हार्मोन को बोलते हैं इक्टो हार्मोन्स, है ना, इक्टो हार्मोन्स और फेरोमोन्स, आई शुड राइट यहाँ एक्टो हार्मोन्स और फेरोमोन्स, एंड दे आर कमिंग फ्रॉम द पेरियनल ग्लैंड, एंड this is in fact present in lower animals, not in human, lower animals, and it leads to the attraction of opposite sex, and whatever the phenomena we are discussing, it is absent in human, and hence it has written here that it is absent in human, है ना, these glands or the pheromones are absent in human. Now very important thing already we have discussed, याद रखने के लिए, males are like भेड़िया, Wolffian ducts are being developed into them, and all the important structures are coming from Wolffian duct, and all the important structure of females are coming from Mullerian duct, है ना. फर्स्ट few lectures में ये सारी चीज़ें हमने डिस्कस की थी. Again homologous, very important table already we have seen, scrotal majora, penis clitoris, prostatic utricles are similar to this vagina and uterus, prostate gland, paraurethral gland of Skinny, and Copper's gland is Bartholin gland. You know, very important table, already we have discussed all this. Then we have the story of vagina, already we have done that it's a non-glandular structure, still it is wet. Why it is wet? Still it is wet. Why? Because of the lactobacilli, because of this bacteria. Why? Now this bacteria, also known as Doddelin bacilli, they are converting this glycogen into lactic acid, and this lactic acid is the cause of this wet nature of the vagina. And one more thing, that this lactic acid is the cause by which the pH of vagina is between 4 to 5, and this acidic pH is very important, because this acidic pH protect the female from infection, of course vaginal infection, not from all infection, है ना, vaginal infection or the any pathogen which can enter and can infect the uterus, everything can be protected. What is gynecomastia? So presence of mammary gland in male is known as gynecomastia. Gynecomastia is physiological in few animal. आपको याद आ रहा है किसमें? duck bill platypus, है ना, and they don't have nipple, instead of nipple they have fur, and through fur they are feeding their child. Hysterectomy, already we have said. ectomy means काट के निकालना, it's removal of organ surgically, of course, of organ, है ना, of course surgically. And hysterec word we have said that it is for uterus, so uterus को काट के निकालना is known as hysterectomy. Similarly ectomy, but this time क्या बाहर आ रहा है? this time ova is coming out surgically, so ova को काट के निकालना is known as oophorectomy. ठीक है, oophorectomy. Then we have two type of ovulator, spontaneous and induced. Spontaneous ovulator, for example human, है ना, एक फिक्स टाइम पे menstrual cycle का ovulation होना है तो होना है, irrespective of the fact that either the sexual intercourse is being done or not. Whereas in few of them only the sexual intercourse will lead to the ovulation. For example rabbit, है ना, for example rabbit. So spontaneous ovulator means the ovulation will occur irrespective of the external stimuli, whereas the induced or the reflex ovulator means the ovulation will occur only because of copulation or stimuli. What is testicle? Testis plus epididymis together they are known as testicles. What is this os, penis or baculum? So no, in penis of some animal a bone is present, and this is known as baculum, and such penis is known as os penis. For example whale, bat, है ना, rat. ठीक है, इसमें क्या होता है? इन पेनिस यू हैव बोन. अदरवाइज हमने ह्यूमन का पेनिस देखा था, इट हैज सच स्पॉन्जी रेक्टाइल स्ट्रक्चर नोन एज कॉर्पोरा कैवर्नोसा एंड कॉर्पोरा स्पॉन्जियोसम. इधर देखो यू हैव बोन एंड दिस इज नोन एज ऑस पेनिस और बैकुलम. ठीक है, few of them are bifurcated. I don't think they will ask this at NEET UG level. Now what is this? कभी क्लास में पढ़ाने का पिक है ये, बट मैं इसको साफ से लिख रहा हूँ. दिस वी आर डिस्कसिंग अबाउट स्ट्रेस साइकिल. स्ट्रेस, और आई कैन पुट इट एज ए हेडिंग, स्ट्रेस साइकिल. Now estrous cycle is seen in non-primate. Why not in primate? Because primate you have seen that in primate you have what? In primate you have menstrual cycle. So estrous cycle will be seen in non-primate. An animal can be either monoestrous or polyestrous. Monoestrous means they will have one reproductive cycle in one season. For example, dog. Polyestrous means they will have multiple cycle of reproduction, है ना. For example, ground squirrel. नाउ यदि हम थोड़ा सा इसको डिटेल में देखें, व्हाट इज दिस estrous cycle? In estrous cycle there is no bleeding. Why? Because the phagocytosis occurs of whom? Of endometrium occurs of endometrium. So endometrium जो menstrual cycle में बाहर आता था वो इधर नहीं आ रहा है. क्यों नहीं आ रहा है? बिकॉज कि endometrium को खा जा रहे हैं. कौन खा जा रहे हैं? वहाँ के phagocytic cells खा जा रहे हैं. Now what is this estrous cycle? यदि थोड़ा हम डिटेल में करना चाहें, phases of estrous cycle, if you want to write, we can have n estrous phase, then pre-estrous phase, then estrous phase, then you have ovulation, and then of course after ovulation parturation. I will explain everything, don't worry. Parturation, then we have lactation. After lactation the animal can enter into either again estrus or it can here. So what is this anestrus phase? Anestrus phase is the phase where the endometrium is very thin and there is no estrogen, or the estrogen is also very less. So this is the anestrus phase. In pre-estrus and estrus phase, now the endometrium is synthesizing or proliferating itself and preparing itself for the implantation, and moreover the amount of estrogen is also increasing. ठीक है. Now after estrus phase you will have the ovulation. Now ovulation, and this ovulation, then further pregnancy, and if the pregnancy, after pregnancy, if it is the monoestrous animal, then this animal will follow this course, and will enter into anestrus phase till the next season. And if it is a polyestrous animal, this animal will follow this phase, means it will go to next cycle. So polyestrous will follow this color and monoestrous will follow this color. Means the main thing which you have to remember, that estrous cycle is seen in non-primates. Why? Because in primates we have menstrual cycle where the endometrium is coming out. In non-primates you have the phagocytic cells sitting there and they are eating all the endometrium. They are not allowing the endometrium to come out. So there is no bleeding in case of non-primates animal. Now the phases we have is the anestrus, pre-estrus, estrus. Estrus phase is the phase where the estrogen level will rise and will lead to the ovulation, and this ovulation, if the fertilization occurs, the pregnancy will continue, and depending upon that either the animal is monoestrus or this polyestrus, the animal will enter either in anestrus phase or pre-estrus phase. ठीक है. I hope this make things clear. And that's all, dear friend. We have completed this chapter of human reproduction in series of lectures. I think these lectures will be worthwhile for you, and you must have enjoyed these lectures. So please go to the channel, subscribe it, like it, and share it with your friend. Thank you. Thanks a lot.